Since I'm using Exorcism, I probably should get the thing that halves the cooldown of Exorcism. But I think that requires help. So can't get it right now. I kind of just want to do this quest and move on, or at least get it as far as I can get it. Shadow Mages and Red Weavers. I do remember another manga that I enjoyed, but one character just disgusted me too much. There was one guy in it, Karakuri Circus, and he's dying, and he reaches out to pat his daughter on the head, just the one final goodbye, and she flinches at his touch. And apparently he would beat her a lot growing up, to the point that now as an adult, she flinches when he goes near her. But he justifies it saying that he had to do it because he was the guardian. Oh, and you don't count. Whatever. He had to do it. He was the guardian of a history and a martial art, so he had to beat his daughter around the place. And you're meant to see this as a tragic scene of a guy dying, when in the next breath he says he has no regrets. Like, on a physical level, his daughter is terrified of him. Like, she instinctively flinches at a touch, even though it's a loving moment between the two of them. She flinches at an attempt of a touch.
It's too far away.
So, and then, like I said, next moment he dies saying that he has no regrets. So it's just like, yeah. I just kind of stopped reading it because I was just too fucking pissed. I might go back to it eventually and then just, click that page and go on to the next one. But, no. It still annoys me too much. I do recommend Karakuri Circus. The anime is good, though it does chop out a lot. It does chop out a lot. And, like, it does chop out that line. He doesn't say that in the original. But, well, he doesn't say that in the anime. He says it in the manga. But it also chops out a ton of great stuff. Like, this lion tamer chick joins the crew. You don't see why she joins the crew. You don't even see how the crew, like the main guy and the girl, end up joining this circus troupe. They're just part of it. Like, there's like a minor time skip and they're part of the group. So it's just kind of weird. There we go. The manga explains it, and you get to see more. Like, And they get up to other things, like there's a bit of a bank robbery going on, and the main guy, with the aid of the circus troupe, deal with the bank robbery. Basically, this one guy takes his like ex-wife or something captive, as well as the main girl. And the two guys in the circus troupe, there's a father and two sons. The two sons have a crush on the main girl, but we're both like, we got to save the woman because I think she was pregnant and had a kid, or she'd given birth to the kid, and well, they both missed their mom, so their instinct is to protect the mother first because well, they didn't want to some other kid losing their mom. So while they both had a crush on her, their instinct was save the stranger lady first. She actually praises them for it afterwards. She slaps the main guy for it because his plan was flawed. He was the one bringing stuff up to, in the hostage negotiation. He was the one bringing stuff up to the dude, and he ended up being left behind on the roof, and the guy had explosives strapped to himself. He nearly died in an explosion, she nearly died saving him, and she really damn well needs him alive. So, yeah. So, always do dislike characters attacking and slapping each other. I can kind of get why they do it, but I'm never a fan of it. Never a fan of it. But with the Lion Tamer girl, they kind of do have a bit of it in the anime later on, though maybe that's just almost like a repeat of it that's in the manga. I never read this far, but they have a bit in the manga anyway, where it shows why she joins the team. Basically, the circus troupe she was part of had this line, and it was really hard to tame. And I'm not sure if it's the line I think it's the line she had, and it was like a paired line in a way. Fuck. I can't remember the story too well, but basically the line she had a weird birth defect where a needle was in its tail. So it's almost like a scorpion kind of thing going on. And they were claiming it like fit with some like line out of Spanish myth or something. But the circus troupe she was part of had that line, an older one. Well, it was the older one, and then they had also brought in this younger line that had killed a few trainers before, and they were trying to tame it themselves. I think there was some prestige to the line. Maybe it was the one that was modeled, that was like one out of Spanish myth or something. I'm not sure, but there's something special to these anyway. But the line that they brought in that had killed its trainers before ends up going loose and killing her sister. The sister had always put her down as the inferior trainer. And now I'm going to tell you some spoilers here for this arc. The main guy, she goes off with her line, to have a final showdown with the rogue one. It keeps getting just shuttled around country to country, sold on, killing trainers as they go, and this time it's after breaking free, and it's just roaming the Japanese countryside, or suburbia, attacking people. It ends up driving a fucking tanker. It attacks a truck, and the truck ends up steering out of control, with it in the fucking cockpit, right into a fucking mall. Thankfully, the mall had been evacuated, but yeah, she goes into the mall with her line, expecting not to come out. The main guy goes in and uses himself as bait again to make sure she doesn't die. He ends up like baiting it towards the truck, and it explodes. He just gets like blasted away from it. The lion survives. But he has a bit of a chat with her and explains that in his perspective, she was the better trainer, not her sister. The lion killed the sister because it was too scared to attack her. If she was the weaker one of the two, she would be the one that was dead. So she mauls on this, and when the lion attacks again, she musters her nerve and commands it to stop and stay. And it just freezes. It can't move. And she commands her lion to kill. And the other one just can't move as the needle penetrates its brain. So yeah, circus anime. If you literally Google that, you'll find it. Karakuri Circus. Karakuri, one word, circus. Karakuri Circus. It's about like fighting combat puppets, and like circus performers and stuff. It's there's layers to this. It's it's a fun piece. I like it. Some bits of it I dislike, but it's personal squeamishness and tastes. Nothing about it is necessarily bad. It's just personal tastes. But yeah, I know. I just really like that she can just, she undergoes that bit of character development, and she can just command this indomitable lion to just basically freeze, and it lets them kill it. It can't stop them from killing it now. That was her strength. She was the stronger of the two if she just believed in herself. So, it's cool. And this was just like a little side arc introducing the character and why she's part of the crew and all this.
What can I do for you? See you later.
This device channels and directs foul necrotic energies to dissolve flesh, metal, or any other material mundane or magical. This may be able to disrupt the shield protecting Arcanos. Scourge Shadow Scalpel. What did you find, Gorik?
Be careful.
Yes, this might just do it. Let us make haste back to the slaughterhouse and put this device to the test. Finish the fight. This might just be... God, that tome. This might just be it, Gorik. Dalton long studied the cult of the damned and taught me a number of blessings to use toward their magics. Thanks to your diligence in my training, I'm now strong enough to impart such a benediction upon this device to purify its magic. You disrupt the barrier surrounding Arcanos. Come, let's burn down that coward shield and end them once and for all.
See you later.
Modified Shadow Scalpel. Cuthbert imparted Dalton's final blessing upon this instrument, hopefully it should function to undo the barrier protecting Arcanos. Please tell me this ain't an elite. It's not. I might be able to do it. He is down as an elite, but it mightn't be an issue. I wish I had shadow protection aura. That would be something. They are just how... Nope, they are real. They didn't actually look real. I am actually taking damage from just proximity to this guy. You might succeed a bit better if you, like, wave your arms in your channeling, You dare disrupt my ritual. I shall grind your bones into dust for your insolence.
That's still
He's pretty soloable for an elite. I'm not in the best of gears, so yeah.
You need something? Be careful.
At last, vengeance.
See you around.
I can scarcely believe we did it. I cannot thank you enough for the aid you provided in this quest, Gurk. Now that it's done, I'm not sure what to do with myself. Being so preoccupied with our mission of late, I've not stopped to think about what comes after. I think for now I'd like some time to think. For now, I'm content to continue our adventures together, if you'll have me. I've learned much, but I still think I have much more. I still think I have more to learn from you.
Have a good one. Greetings. For the Alliance.
Could mean that there will be further, like, more to his quests later on, because they do, like in the earlier Paladin quests, getting Art of War with that the Night Elf that fucks off. It does kind of set her up as a returning antagonist. Hell yeah. Right. I've done so well here. Wonder if putting on Sense Undead will let me see these guys. Could you stop that? Have some food. Alright, mount up. Let's leave. I suppose there's no cauldron lord, so there's no way to access the cauldrons here. But, I don't know, it feels like I would like acknowledgement of it. It's like, if only we could do that. You know, just like a bit of dialogue from NPC or something. Okay, heal didn't go for much, but still, I appreciate every little bit of help. I survived an earlier fight with just 11 hit points.
Have a good one.
Okay, I did well. I got nearly a 2-hour set there before I had to stop again.
That spell isn't ready yet.
Okay, I'm starting to get a ton of Invader Scourge Stones. Minion ones come from people like below 55. Invaders come from enemies above 55, or 55 and above. And My back. Then there's another one, corruptors, and that comes from like boss enemies. That may have been the torrent that was grinding earlier. Just noting.
How are you? See you around.
Did you find the hideout, Gurik? Did you take care of Zeldar? Great, you got him. I hope you taught his gang a lesson too.
Safe travels.
They were saying they ate some bad meat. Maybe they ate the corpses that we took from over here. That they took from over here. Not sure. Or maybe they just ate like a plague bat, and that's the issue. You do just specify bad meat, so. Hard to be sure. Ooh, ooh. This is a very useful item, but very dangerous to get. Thank you, Squire. Find a good fight. Only one blood of heroes. Still. Wonder how these trolls are doing in Canada. And you know how that guy was marked as infiltrator? Like, would that mean he's infiltrating? He's pretending not to be plagued when he is, and he's actually that is real horror there. That someone could be plagued and like being dominated by a lich, but you don't know. Somehow they're hiding it. It's like someone hiding the zombie bite, but they've already given over to being a zombie. You know, they're trying to spike your food with tainted meat, so you join them. Blood of Heroes. I need 2 for that haste room, I think. I also need a few for 2 bits of gear if I, as a paladin, can get them. I'm not sure. The chest buried here is securely locked. Heya's chest is opened. Heya's slayer and cloak. Alright. And now we head back to Tyrion. I'll call it after this and go back to do some editing. I'm just listening through the end of session 15, and then it's on session 16 where I join retired. And I think it's a session or two after that I go and do Dead Mines. I was speaking there a bit about like writing the novel and whatnot. I have no idea how I'm gonna go about actually publishing it. Am I gonna self-publish? Am I going to try and get published? Um, One issue with self-publishing is like, what the hell will I do for like book art? You know, the cover of it. You know, advertising. And the issue of getting a publisher is they'll want to tamper with it and futz with it. And no, this is, you know, this is my story. Fuck off. Order of the Silver Hand. My fate will guide you, Gorik. The light knows no bounds. It is glorious now, even in its shattered state, as the day I looked upon it and took my oath of allegiance. What was I saying? Tyrion, okay, what was I saying? Right, I was just saying about my novels. And me not wanting to share it with them. Like, it's my story, not yours. You know, I don't want you tampering with it. So, like if I get it published, then, you know, they're footing the costs on editing, they're footing the costs on the art. But I might get the art that I want. You know, they'll want to edit and futz with stuff. You know, it's swings and roundabouts kind of thing. Like, I'll get the art that I want if I do it myself, if I self-publish, but I have to foot the bill myself, and I have no money. So I have no idea. One thing I had been thinking about. I'm gonna focus on this for a second because this part's a little unsettled. One thing I've been thinking about was, fuck, what was I saying? I don't remember. My head, yeah, I need to stop recording. My head is frazzled. Yeah, folks. Let's join me in finding out what the hell I said. Right. One thing I had been thinking about, if I self-publish, but I have to foot the bill myself, and I have no money. So I have no idea. Futz with stuff. I have no idea where I was going with it, but maybe it was some like, basically I have no idea what to do. Like, no, I don't think this was it, but it's true. Like, I have a story that I want to tell. You know, I think I have a good idea here, but they'll want to futz with it for good or for ill. But I'm figuring it's probably going to be more ill. I need their money to easily pay for stuff, but you know, to get art for the book, to you know, get stuff made. But honestly, I'm not a really fan of them tampering with and fucking with my writings. You know, I've, despite my nerves here, I've a surprising bit of faith in what I've made. So I'm not a fan of them swanning in and changing things, because I have a feeling it wouldn't be for the better. Like the main guy isn't the most politest of it. Sorry, isn't the most politest of individuals. So they'll probably take an issue with his language. It's not that he's overly swearing, but he does swear, you know. So, actually, I'm thinking right now that I hate these new little plastic lids they put on bottles. They like the hinge on them is shit, and it just makes it awkward to clip the lid back on again, because the hinge makes the lid sit weird, and it's kind of hard to write it. You know, you just kind of have to try and screw it back on and hope it works. But they'll probably take issue with that, or whatever. So it's. I've also a few other ideas of what they may take issue with, but oh fuck, this mic has been really lowered. It's down to 87. Hopefully it's not too bad. I sent some audio messages to Mom earlier during the break. After I did some writing, I sent some messages to her, and PC or my mic then. It's really annoying, and I can't stop it from doing it. But basically, I'm just seeing that there's various bits to my writing that they will probably throw strops over. They aren't an issue. They wouldn't be a problem, probably. But I can see them throwing a strop over it. It's like YouTube. Like, oh, advertisers won't want to advertise. You said the word. Crap. You can't have monetized that video. Meanwhile, there's advertisements on, Game of Thrones. They said fuck in it, and a guy shagged his sister. You know. That's fine, but crap. Oh no, that's unmonetizable. It's just YouTube spazzing out. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Like, should I go self-published? Should I go published? I suppose the issue will become like, would they even take me? And on the other side is, do I even want them to? Because again, they would want to fuck with my work. They would want to change it to suit them. So, it's a swings and roundabout sort of thing. Then the other fear is that, like, apparently most novels don't do well. They they just don't. Someone was saying that the industry is based on, publishing 10 novels, hoping that one pays for the other 9. Well, I got a lot of ideas for stories. The way that one of the stories is set up, it can last a while, but it's got a distinct end point. But the other story could go on for a long time. Not an issue. But, Oh yeah, one thing I was thinking of, this is what I forgot and I remembered it now. Patreon. There's one person I followed on Patreon, and what they do is they release like like they release chapters for free elsewhere, but if you want to read them earlier and have them sent to you, you can read them on Patreon if you subscribe. It's like a fiver a month, and you get it sent on to you. And so I'm thinking maybe I could try something like that, but I think I would have to like build a fan base for my writing by releasing stuff for free over a long period. Or maybe if I had enough fans of my videos to begin with, I could just do it that way. Yeah. Be like, hey guys, I'm doing a novel. If you want to get early chapters, follow me on Patreon. At some point, I'll probably release them free here, but follow me on Patreon if you want to see them now. Do something like that. But I don't have nearly the following to justify something like that. Plus, on the flip side, part of me kind of wants to say hello to my little friend. Part of me wants to have I want to use a pen name, and I want to be disassociated from my work. Not sure if I want it permanently or just till I'm satisfied the opinion of my work is, positive enough. I'll probably leave that up to future me to decide. So don't really want to tie it to my internet persona here at all, you know. I suppose I should worry about that later and just at least get the book done first, you know. Once the book is done, then I can worry about anything else. I think that I need to check something, but I don't remember what. It is glorious now, even in its tattered state. It's the day I looked upon it and took my oath of allegiance. His redemption comes, and perhaps mine with it, of love and family. When Talon was a child, we would oft visit Cerdaro on family excursions. On our last visit, an artist by the name of Renfrey painted a port. Oh, tore off a bit of tissue there and it fell. Don't remember what it was for, but if a moth turns up, it's always handy to have something to try and kill it with. Renfrey painted a portrait of us poised along the beachside. It's my fondest memory of both Talon and Karandra, for it was at that moment, with my wife and son in my arms, that I felt a bond of love and family that I will never know again. If this painting still exists, you must find it. Travel to the ruined island of Cerdaro and see if the painting or the artist remain. That may require me to have done Dungeon Quest. Okay, I may be able to talk to her. I don't know. They didn't say. It does send you in to do a quest, into a dungeon. The follow-up to this sends you into a dungeon, but you may have had to do showmance to even talk to her. But it seems like it sends you in to fight the archivist, so I end up having a second reason to kill him. Okay, we'll head over to Cerdaro and see if we can talk to Renfrey. And if we can, then we'll grab the quest, turn the quest in, grab the next one, and then we'll head over to the ghosts we met here in the Western Polygons. And after that, we'll just hark back to Stormwind. That little post there is the Arena of the Trollman's boss. I don't think it sees any use in the Trollman's remake. Don't think it sees any use. And unlike in retail, there's no way to get there in classic that I know of, at least. With the overhang of the roof, you can't just drop down. Nowhere else is nearby enough to jump in. So, meh. For the light. Oh, we can talk to her. How could I forget? Many spirits in the sound are cursed to relive their last happy memory before they met their tragic end. So dark. I too am cursed, but not as they. I am I am one of the few that remembers all. Perhaps this thing that you ask me is why I haunt these ruins. Perhaps this thing perhaps this thing I tell you shall set me free. The painting. It hung on the wall of my workshop, inside the Order's barracks, for years. After Tyrion's trial was over, I knew that I could no longer keep the painting visible. I hid it in a place that would never think to look. Travel to Stratholme and make your way deep inside what is now the Scarlet Bastion. Search for a painting of our twin moons. Chip away at the paint until you can cover my masterwork of love and family. May light guide your actions. Is someone there? Tyrion, my old friend. Is that you? Have you come to save us? So, another reason to go into Stratholme. So I have to do Ubers, I think. I certainly have to do Ubers. I have to do both sides of Stratholme. I have a lot of dungeons to do. I presume we have to do Dar Mall, and I certainly want to do it just for the appeal. Back when I was younger, and I was listening to Taverncast, I remember the field trip they did to Dar Mall. That was fun. They did a field trip to those 3 dungeons. They never did one to any other, and it was fun because like they were just talking about like the instance, and they were in their normal jokey manner. Like they're talking about Alzin, the final boss of like maybe Darmal East. It's a satyr trying to corrupt this sacred tree, or trying to corrupt some plant life. But I guess due to where he's holding it, way Satis channeled their magic. He's kind of holding it at like crotch height, so it looked more like he was pissing on the tree. So they called him Alvin the Tree Peer, and it was funny. So so yeah, they called him Alvin the Tree Peer instead of whatever he was called, and I don't know, it was just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed their tour. You know, they were styling it as like a school tour, and I don't know, it was just really charming. I hope they're all doing well, whatever they're up to now. You saw Pamela. How is she? Is she alive? Oh no. Poor Pamela. She was so young. Such a happy child. She doesn't know what happened to her father, does she? My brother, Joseph? No. She couldn't understand what happened to Joseph. And even if she could, I don't have the heart to tell her. Wish Joseph could be again with his daughter, but it cannot be so. His soul was twisted by the scourge and became a monster. Oh, he is doomed. But perhaps we can change his fate. Search the graves outside Joseph's monument. His body's not there, for it was trampled and destroyed years ago. But under the monument is his wedding ring. Take that ring to Chromie. Strange gnome with very strange powers. Chromie staying in the ruined inn in the northwest corner of Vanderhall. Just Red Pat's monument. Probably gonna end up having to kill them all now anyway, but whatever. Barely not. Just Red Pat Whispers save me. Still need to kill Raj to get into Showman's. To Zeba. But yeah, I still need to kill Raj to get into Showman's. Need to get around to doing that too. There's something timely about your visit. You're not from the future, are you? What is this? A wedding ring? Let me see. Ah, this ring was once in the hand of a great man, but there is much tragedy in that man's past. Are you here to help him? It's far too late for him now, but perhaps we can visit him in the we can help him in the past. Save Joseph Redpoust, we must first discover his past. Learn this in the Annals of Darshire, a book held in the City Hall of Anderhall. Bring me that book. We can then learn Joseph's fate and with change it. You cannot save him. It's the ghost of a ghoul. I thought that Chromie's so willing to help save a guy, because, you know, Dragonflight is all about non-intervention in this kind of thing. But I suppose we aren't trying to keep him alive. We're not trying to... We're just trying to stop his corruption by the Scourge. Or free him up. We're not trying to... do anything else. No, didn't mean to do that. One, two, three. Ah, this is random goddamn chance. A worthless tome. An old worthless tome. heal up. Musty Tome Trap. Ooh. Finally found it. Not sure why they're very insistent on preventing me from trying to save him. Apparently he was a great man, so... Oh, I remember now something I was wanting to check. I remember how Tyrion engaged in a fight. I wanted to see if he was marked for PvP, because from what I'd seen before, the only enemies that would aid a player in a fight were those that were. But I couldn't remember if he was marked for it or not. So next time I go back to him, I'll have to check that.
Be careful.
Did you find the book, Gorik? Well done, you found it. Did you read it? Joseph Redpath mentioned. If he is, then perhaps we can save him. Ah. The Annals of Daroshar tells an unsettling tale. It says that during the battle, Joseph Redpath was corrupted and joined the ranks of the Scourge. He then betrayed the defenders of Daroshar. That is an ill fate. If we can, we should change that fate, don't you think? The Annals of Daroshar. Daroshar, named for the Darrowmere Lake to the west, is a village tucked into the southern foothills of Wateron. Known for humble yet hard-working residents, Daroshar stayed in the background of Wateron history until the Second War. Heroes were made during that war, and heroes were lost. The Battle of Daroshar. The Battle of Daroshar took place in the middle of the Second War, when Scourge forces rampaged across Wateron. Daroshar was cut off from the bulk of the land's forces, but the town was bolstered by a company of troops, a contingent of paladins of the Silver Hand, and a staunch group of local militia, led by Captain Joseph Redpath. The Scourge's first assaults on Daroshar were sparse. Small groups of marauding skeletons and corpses wandered the outskirts of the village and were repelled. But the Scourge were not balked by the defenders' tenacity, and responded in kind. Soon after the first wave of attacks, a second wave emerged. Champion ghouls, servants of the ghoul lord Horgus, screamed down from the hills and clashed with beleaguered Daroshar defenders. The defenders weakened, but were relieved by paladins, disciples of the Silver Hand. Their leader, Davil Crockford, was a native of Daroshar. He brought his followers to the village when he heard of the impending attack, and together with the defenders, they held back the servants of Horgus. When Horgus himself entered the battle, he met with Davil. For many minutes they fought, and Davil eventually prevailed, but he suffered a mortal wound, and died soon after defeating the ghoul lord. The battle continued, and Captain Redpath led his militia bravely, and it might have been won, had the captain not been corrupted by the Dead Knight, Marduk the Black. In the middle of the fray, Marduk rode up to Redpath. With black magic he tore loose Redpath's spirit, twisting it into an evil shadow of the brave captain. The corrupted Captain Redpath then spread his evil taint among the defenders of Daroshar, who betrayed their allies and slaughtered them. They then turned on the town of Daroshar and killed all who had hidden their homes. The remaining Scourge army, along with the corrupted spirit of Captain Redpath, then left the ravaged village of Daroshar and tore into Orderon, adding to the pain and death of the Second War. That was the Annals of Daroshar. One issue. They say Second War. Wasn't it the Third War? Like the wars are Warcraft 1, Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3. So Second War was over by the time of the Scourge. Had been for years. Had been over long enough for Troll to grow up. So it's a bit of a typo as far as my understanding goes. Let's find out the whole story. It's gonna take some magic. There, it is done. The book has been enhanced. The Annals of Dowershire, through my magic, has gained pages at its end, and now extends its history beyond the battle. One of the extra passages tells of another red path. The Annals of Dowershire, through my magic, has gained pages at its end, and now extends its history beyond the battle. One of the extra pages tells of another red path, Carlin, who survived Joseph's betrayal. Carlin's now in the playgrounds to the east at the Light's Hope Chapel. Take the book and speak with him. I need to actually do a reread of a book I did before because my mic had suffered during it. I think I might have taken the headset off for a second, just adjusting myself, but I kept reading, and the sound wasn't great. I could leave the episode go up, but I couldn't put it as a. I could leave it go up as part of an episode, but not as a standalone episode. The fate of Horgus the Ravager. Horgus the Ravager fell at the Battle of Dowershire, but the evil within him was not fully spent. Victorious Scourge forces removed his skull from the battlefield of Dowershire, carrying it with them to sow dread among the living they faced. Days later, the company of Scourge who possessed the head were defeated by Silverhand Paladins. Horgus's head was cast into Blackwood Lake. The fate of Marduk the Black. Marduk survived the Second War, causing great death and suffering with his foul, rune-laden sword. Although Marduk still lives, his sword was lost in a battle near Corrin's Crossing. The dwarf captain shattered his sword on his enchanted shield, forcing Marduk to flee the field, and winning the day for the Alliance. Marduk's sword sank into the earth and corrupted it, eating a gorge into the land, now known as the Infectus Scar. Davil Lightforge died at the Battle of Dowershire, but his bravery inspired Alliance throughout the war. His book, his Paladin's Librum, was recovered by Scarlet Crusade troops. It now resides in the town hall of the Scarlet Crusade-controlled Heartglen, often read by Crusaders eager to draw from Davil's strength. The fate of Joseph Redpath. Joseph Redpath was killed during the Battle of Dowershire. His spirit was corrupted and took new shape, and this creature spread great evil in Lordaeron. At Garen's Crossing, east of Vanderhall, the corrupted Redpath was finally defeated by Alliance forces. His shield still rests near the barn of the plagued farmstead, and Scourge minions are still drawn to the memory of his evil. Fate of Carlin Redpath. Brother to Joseph Redpath, Carlin fell during the Battle of Dowershire, but although terribly wounded, he was not slain. Days after the battle, agents of the Argent Dawn found Carlin wandering, weak from thirst and fever, near Corn's Crossing. They tended to his wounds and brought him to the Light's Hope Chapel. Grateful for their charity, Carlin joined the ranks of the Argent Dawn and fights a battle of revenge against the Scourge.
Light be with you. Go with honor, friend.
The Argent Dawn is active sooner than I thought.
You're a tall one.
They must have became active during the during the war with the Scourge. Probably after the Silver Hand fell, the paladins that didn't go Scarlet joined the Argent Dawn. In my head, I kind of thought the Argent Dawn turned up later on. That they, like, maybe they were ex Silver Hand paladins, but they would have, formed, closer to WoW than during like Warcraft 3 time. Sorry if the fan is an issue. It's so bloody hot, and I'm not risking opening the window. I could do that instead of having the fan on, but the issue with opening the window is flies. Really, there's been a ton of flies as of late. I've gone out on walks, attacked by flies. Been in the store, attacked by flies. Been at home, attacked by flies. I can't deal with them. Germaphobe, remember? And yeah, not good. Not good at all. Seems that I might be able to solo the whole of the Tyrion quest line, but if I can get help with it, that would be appreciated.
Hey there. For the Alliance.
You've come from the west. I'll fear the rest of Wateron. I know that Anderhall is lost, but has the Scourge yet reached fair Tirisfal? That's a weird remark. Do ye not know that, yeah, the Scourge is over there, but now the Forsaken over there are in control? Like, even this time, you should know that. You have, like, undead. One of your commanders is Forsaken. There's Forsaken banner right over there. Argent Dawn, you can talk to them. You should probably know something. I don't understand.
See you later.
What is this book? The Annals of Darshire. It was my home for the war. My home for that battle that destroyed it. Why did you bring me this book? But look here. At the end there are pages that tell of the days beyond the battle. It's passage from me and one by my brother Joseph. Is this book true? We must discover the truth.
For the Alliance.
The Annals of Darshire tells of the villains of that battle. It tells how the ghoul lord Horgus the Ravager was destroyed by Lance forces during the battle. His body was cast into a lake northwest of Corn's Crossing. His skull remains there. Marduk the Black was never defeated, but his fabled sword was shattered and lost. It lies at the bottom of the gorge west of Corn's Crossing. Retrieve their items, Gorek. I know not why, but I'm certain their fate lies with you.
See you around. Have a good one.
The heroes of Darshire hold a place in my heart. The book you brought me, the Annals of Darshire, tells their tales. Tells of the paladin Davil Lightfire, and how the crusade took his Libram to the town hall of Heartglen. Its passages also speak of my brother, Captain Redpat. After his betrayal, his shield was cracked and discarded, now lies in the most unlikely of places, near the barn of Goran's Crossing. Gather these relics, Gork, for fate and tragedy surrounds them.
See you later.
So, I'll leave this here. So I'm on 27 them, 85 of them. Pretty good numbers, really. But they could be better. And I'm back up to 400 gold. I can't remember the number I had gotten down to, but, well, I certainly approve. I'm going to try a little longer of trying to pitch this thing at 200, unless it's already dropped greatly, and then I'll just like drop it to 100 maybe and see if that sells. It's already dropped to 99. Whatever. I was meaning to put it up for a day, but that didn't happen. Over 410. I'm just tired of constantly relisting them, so we'll just put them at recent prices. And yeah, I'm calling this quits here as I'm getting really tired. Might be able to do any editing now, but we'll see. Till then, folks. Till then. Yeah, folks. A little amendum. I was starting to think about, what I was talking about earlier, the anime and different stuff. Between the games, the dying, and then me, like, ugh, over that one thing I stumbled onto, because I could have done without reading that. It was, yeah, I could have just done without reading that one. I never did finish explaining my point. A lot of people I've seen complaining like, oh, it's just cheap, it's like fan service for guys. There's plenty of stuff with fan service for chicks out there, for women. There's plenty of fan service for women, and then like I said, there's also the rape fetish stuff. You know, there's plenty of stuff that do exist out there. There's stuff for tons of different demographics. For like there's shonen stuff, which is what people are looking at and then complaining that it's shonen stuff. There's shoujo stuff. There's seinen stuff, and then there's josei. If you want something else, then look at the different demographics. That being said, there's stuff that like I've seen stuff that I would have swore would be an older demographic, but it was actually shoujo or shonen. It wasn't josei or seinen. And just because it's like seinen or josei doesn't necessarily mean we'll focus on kids in high schools. Part of the whole demographic thing is it's not necessarily the demographic of the work. It's based off at least the site I was looking at, based it off of the book they were published in. Because technically, Banana Fish, which is a boys' love, is actually a shoujo. It's not marked down as a yaoi, apparently. Its genre is shoujo. It's clearly a boys' love, but I've seen something arguing that it's actually a shoujo. I guess it's not necessarily mutually exclusive, but they were acting as it was. And in my head, I was kind of thinking of a lot of it being one as well. It being mutually exclusive and going the other way myself. So, yeah. But yeah, basically that's the point I was getting at, was that if you dislike something, there's plenty of other stuff out there for you to take a look at. Well, not for two things. Shonen, shoujo are pretty broad categories, so even within the category, there's probably something there that you like. And if there is, even if there isn't, then there's the other categories to look at. So look at them. You'll find something that you like. So, as much as I complained about it, I may have actually gotten someone interested in that work and wanting to read it because it's like, ooh, that's my thing, that tickles me. And, if you like it, fair enough. I question your taste, but if you like it, fair enough. I personally could have just done without stumbling onto that work. I was kind of expecting them to be dislikable people, but I wasn't expecting to. Well, I wasn't really expecting that. And given what I've seen previously, I was too cynical to believe that he would actually ever really redeem himself, or even try, given how romance novel and the women tend to be. So, yeah. But, yeah, that was ultimately what I was trying to get at, and I don't believe I actually did. So it was just, fuck. What am I trying to say here? Basically, yeah, there's multiple different, like, people keep complaining over shonen stuff, but there's shoujo, there's seinen, there's josei. There's tons of different demographics of stuff, and then even then the demographics are pretty fucking broad. Like, I've seen there's a thing, a rather honestly it was rather kid friendly, like high school romance, between two high school kids. That was a seinen, which so's berserk, you know. So's Fist of the North Star, as far as I know. But then again, that could be shonen. That that actually might be shonen. I don't know. Um, so like the categories are broad. They will often have overlap, but they are broad categories. So you know, part of that issue could be just simply down to what got picked up by what. Something may have gotten picked up by a manga magazine that's seinen, and so it gets flagged as seinen, even though it could really be flagged as a shonen work. You know. At least that's the issue on site. I've seen a few things on, but so yeah, that's ultimately what I was getting at for people, complaining like, oh, anime is all like this. You know, broaden your horizons. Look around more. There is a ton of different anime out there, a ton of different manga out there. You you're seeing a very narrow view of it. Ton of different stuff out there. And for all my complaining about the other thing, like I said, if that's your thing, if that does it for you, fair enough. I question your taste, but it takes all kinds. You know, that's your taste. So yeah, I could have just done without reading it. Like I said, I was expecting, you know, dislikable people. I was expecting that, but him turning around in the first chapter and raping the main chick, it was just like, okay, it's one of those works, so, huh? And it just closed it. So I wasn't expecting it to go that far, but yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say. I felt that I never finished that point between complaining about the other thing and then fighting, the dying, the killing, the moving on. I just forgot about it. Sorry if I'm a little tangenty here. I'm quite tired. It's 8 minutes to 5. I've done a little bit of checking of stuff, a little bit. Um, and I'm fucking tired at this point. I think I may just head to bed and leave it there. So I'll talk to you. Till then, folks. Hey, folks, and welcome to a little bit of post commentary. I ended up actually happy with the post commentary I heard, but I left out a point, though I feel like I may have gone into it in a later on video. I have no idea at the present, though. Basically, I feel it's unfair to Josei. Talking about people being unfair to shonen and how broad the genres are, it's unfair, it's hypocritical of me to complain about Josei like that and paint it all with one brush. The reason I did is just look at romance novels like 50 Shades, rapist male lead. There's so many visual novels with rapist, abusive male leads. There's so many novels like Beyond 50 Shades with rapist, abusive male leads. There's so much stuff like this that I thought, like, since this is by women, presumably, but it is for women, Josei is going to be riddled with this kind of thing. And maybe it is. But I feel I painted Josei as a whole as that. and that's what's wrong. It could be endemic, it could be the majority of the works are like that, but still wrong to paint them all like that. So I do want to apologize for that. So, yeah, that's basically it. Just like, there is a wide variance to shonen stuff. As I was saying there's Josei, there could be, like, look at Berserk. That's very dark adult stuff. But then you can find something in the Seinen magazine that's just a cute high school romance between two high school kids. And that's Seinen. Sometimes what's determined by their demographic is not by the content of the work, but by what decides to publish it. So if Seinen magazine decides to pick it up, the thing's flagged as Seinen, not shonen. You know? So it ends up making the demographic borders pretty broad. If you can have cute high school romance and then the latest chapter of Berserk in the same book. So it's unfair of me to paint Josei in the same light. There was a cute Josei thing I saw about a bit of a girl failure streamer and a guy, and he knows she's the streamer, she doesn't know he's her viewer, and their connection point is the local coffee shop. It ended up being a cute enough thing, at least to the point I watched it. And that's Josei. So it's unfair to paint them all with the one brush, basically. Just wanted to apologize for that.